Hello. Welcome to the Stina Show. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys had a good week. Today's guest is voiceover and audio producer Zizza. She's a really good friend and she's a very talented lady. She knows everything about audio. She's a professor. She does a lot of stuff. So yeah, so I'll just wait for her to come on here. And in the meantime, I hope everyone is staying safe and doing your protective measures out there, wearing a mask and all that. Maybe 1 second. Hi, Scott. Welcome. I just told Sue to come on, so let me be patient with this. Okay. All right. Welcome. Hey, Scott. Welcome. Sue will be on in a second. You know Sue's awesome. Scott's a good friend of hers as well. And hi to Delaney out there. So, oh yeah, as I was saying, I hope you guys have been doing your proper PPE through the weeks and self-care. I know hold on a second. Sorry, I am contacting Sue through so yeah, sorry for the wait. I'm trying to get Sue. Oh, there she is. Figured it out. Hold on, let me. Hi. Okay, here we go. Let me bring it in. Come on. Join me, Sue. Oh, hey, Delaney. Hey, Sue. You.
Yay! Sorry. You know, the first time you do a thing.
and it was pretty easy, right? It was kind of simple.
Well, yes, once I had your very good directions, it was very simple.
Well, welcome to the interweb interview, Zizza.
Thank you very much, Miss Christina. How are you today?
Good. You know, one day at a time here. Thank you.
I see in the chat we have some guests joining us today.
Yes, my mom just said hello, and then Scott and Delaney Cinnamon
I
are
see
here.
that. Scott and Delaney say hello. Hello, Scott and Delaney. Nice to see you both.
So let's dive in. My sister, hey Joe. We got a whole gaggle zoo. We got a gaggle zoo, Zizza. All right,
Very nice. Yeah, we
So-
sent out. We're excited to be doing this. Thank you for inviting me to come and play.
Oh, I loved your promotions. Yeah, that was nice to see. Welcome.
Thank you.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
So
Happy number 11.
Happy number. This is my 11th episode, and one is Zizza's favorite numbers, right?
One of my absolute favorite numbers. Turn it up to 11. Spinal Tap.
Turn it up.
I am an engineer at heart, after all.
Yeah, I was saying before you came on that you are an audio genius of sorts. You and David together, your brains combined. I mean, radio waves is.
Radio Waves. Well, actually, that is the name of our studio there in Manhattan, Radio Waves. And
I see the logo.
We named it after that because it is the place where Nikola Tesla actually discovered radio technology, radio waves and radio broadcasting. So the building is named that. And radio has always been our first love, David and I. So we decided that should be the name of the studio, too.
It's awesome. And waves are everything. Sound are waves, right? Life is waves.
Absolutely. All life is vibrations of different kinds, right?
Peace, man. No, yes, it's true. It's true. So how do we meet, Mrs.?
When did we meet? Oh, it was a steamy July in New York City.
Oh, it's our anniversary, right?
I think we're getting close, dear. I think we're getting close. Yes, it was a steamy July in New York City, and our favorite Whoopi Goldberg was hosting an event for the 25th anniversary of Sister Act.
Yeah.
And because I'm a big fan of the movie and of the celebrity, David and I came in all dressed up as characters. And I should tell you that I had just had a back attack a few days earlier. And so I was on some pretty heavy non-painkillers.
Okay, all right. Keep it clean,
And,
PG.
oh yeah, it was pretty intense that day. I was in a lot of pain, but I was not going to let it stop me from seeing the show. And so we were pretty excited about going, and there you were. And you thought we looked pretty funny dressed up as characters. And
well, I wanted to dress up, but I'm in SAG-AFTRA, and I knew that I couldn't dress up as character and be on camera. But we were online together for a while, and I was admiring your attire. I recall.
Yes, I had actually, unlike others in the audience, I actually went to my closet because I love to dress up. I mean, you do know this about me, right? I do love my dress up. And so,
Okay. Oh, yeah,
so,
you could leave that. We love a queen.
Whoopi's been wearing a crown the last number of weeks too. So anyway, I do love
Yes,
my
she has,
dress up.
right.
And I had plenty of pieces, I hate to admit, in my closet for David and I to create our costumes, and it was so much fun. So yeah, that was when we first met.
And then you were actually featured on that episode, but that was because of The View who organized it, and that's one of our true loves is The View. We've gone to, I've gone to 20-something tapings. You've gone to 20-some, right?
Yes,
Tapings
20.
as well.
That's right. And many of them in the last number of years we went to together.
Most, yeah.
In fact, their most recent Emmy Award that they won this year, if I'm not mistaken, part of that was the Halloween show that they submitted that you and I were at, where they threw blood at poor Abby Hoffman. Remember that?
I do remember. Abby Huntsman, yeah.
Abby Huntsman.
I was like, Hoffman. I was like, is that right? No, it's Huntsman.
You're right. Huntsman. You're correct.
Dustin Hoffman, same thing. But yeah, our love for The View, it's unprecedented. I miss those ladies very much, and I miss you and the ladies and the whole thing.
I miss being in Manhattan very, very much as well. It has been one of the hardest parts of this whole experience is that not only my work at NYU, but my studio work and also just being in and around the excitement of the entertainment industry in New York City, I've missed it terribly.
Right.
Terribly.
Oh, you and I go to events daily almost.
Although I have to say, I have zoomed into a couple of fun events of late. And, we also created our own Zoom experience online with the Here Now Festival. But I really have missed going to some of the premieres that we went to together. Those were always fun, and the movie exhibits and things. So soon we'll be back again, I'm sure.
Yeah, we went to so many that I can't even pick out in my brain what we've done. That's how many things we've done. But Phyllis was a great proponent. I miss when she says Zizza. Zizza.
Phyllis from the wonderful New York Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. Phyllis was one of the organizers of their wonderful events. And yes, she always made sure that we got on the front of the line there. She liked us both. She was nice.
The Emmys.
Yep.
She's the best. Well, say hi to her. Tell her we miss her.
I sure will.
So let's go back, all the way back to 18 years ago when you were a child.
I was a child 18 years ago. You're correct. You're correct.
Still a child, but we're always children. How did you know you were going to be an audio professional and in the entertainment industry?
Well, you know, Christina, that old saying, what goes around comes around. So back when I was in high school, I had the opportunity to do some sound design for a production of Dracula. And just recently, for the wonderful Actors Theater Company of Louisville, I had the opportunity to do sound design for Dracula again. So the thing that I will tell you is that there was a moment where my drama teacher asked me to climb up this ladder and press a cassette machine and get these bats to fly. And when I heard the bats fly around the theater at Sewanaka High School in 1900, that was it. I was done. I was like, wow, you can do that. And I had grown up listening to Saturday at the Metropolitan Opera. I had a cousin who really loved that show, and he would read to me when I was a small child from the Golden Book of Librettos. I don't know if anybody out there remembers those, but they were little golden books, and he would just read the basic story of what it was we were going to listen to. And then we'd listen to these operas together in German and Italian. I had no idea what the person was really saying, but the emotional content came through in a big way. And then the other thing I liked to do when I was a little kid, there was a show on the radio from Chicago called Unshackled, which were radio stories from the Bible that they would do early on a Sunday morning. And I would listen in my little room in Elmont, New York, where I grew up, on the radio, and I would record these little things onto my cassette machine and play them back all week long. And it was fascinating to me how these stories were told with the different voices, and it was so similar to the opera in so many ways for me. So that when I got older, a few years, and I had this opportunity in high school to try this thing called sound design, it just stuck with me. And then I went to Hofstra University, and I had the opportunity to work at then WVHC, now WRHU. And we had a fabulous mentor and a gentleman named Jeff Krause. And we all learned to tell stories in sound only. And I don't know, Christina, it's just been with me ever since.
It's awesome, Ziz.
Ever since.
The growth, the metamorphosis of Ziz.
Well, you know, you asked that I bring one of my favorite quotes, right? So yeah. I happen to really like Thoreau. And one of Thoreau's quotes that I try to think about in a regular way is, go confidently in the direction of your dreams, live the life you've imagined. And the thing I really love about telling stories on the radio, in sound, whatever it might be, is that you are engaging at the imagination, and you're going way, way beyond your current experience and limitations. And so with my imagination and through the power of sound, I can go to anywhere in the world, anywhere in the universe, and I can create anything I can create. So for me, it's very exciting.
It is very exciting. And to tap into imagination is a true gift, because some people do lose that gift as they get older if you're not passionate about your dreams and visions. I think people do lose that, which is sad, because it's really invigorating.
Yes, it really is. And especially one of the things that's been really fascinating about living through this time of pandemic is that so many people are returning to audio storytelling in one way or another. You know, the entertainment industry in general has been challenged, so that those of us that are sound producers found that we could pivot very, very quickly. Our studios knew how to deal with home-based, wonderful, thank you, all of you, home-based narrators and post-production engineers. And again, we were able to take a festival that normally happens in person and imagine it totally virtually, because it was sound and video only, so we took the festival and pivoted that so that it could reach and offer more entertainment opportunities to more people. And it was really quite exciting to use new media, new technologies in this kind of different way.
So this was the Here Now Festival, right?
Yes, the Here Now Festival. And if anyone wants to, the programming from the festival is still online at www.hear, H-E-A-R, now, N-O-W, festival.org. So hearnowfestival.org. And we had some wonderful artists this year who submitted work from literally all over the world. And because we engaged a whole variety of new technologies, we were able to celebrate the independent audiobook producer. We had artists from Tokyo and France joining us. We had people from Canada and England. So it was really quite exciting to see that, because sound is such a portable thing, we could really engage anywhere in the world. It was very exciting.
Was that the one Ed Asner was at?
Yes, Ed Asner was one of our guest artists. He was originally intended to perform. He was going to play God for us in a new piece by Phil Proctor called God Help Us. And unfortunately, at 90, we had to admit that maybe Mr. Asner should not be traveling. And so, especially when Kansas City, our hometown, shut down as well. But he was very willing to zoom in from his home in Los Angeles, and he joined the most wonderful host, Julia Whelan, a new Golden Voice narrator. And the two of them had a fun conversation that we could join in Zoom and ask him questions. But additionally, through the assistance of David Shin, the technical director of the festival, and my partner at studios, I see the cameras sort of shifted down a little there, at our studio. Thanks to David's technical ability, we were able to also push it out through Facebook and be able to share it to a much larger audience than the 100 or so that came into Zoom. So we used a whole variety of different kinds of technologies to share different stories from different artists, literally all around the world.
That's awesome. Congrats on a great run. I saw their awards. There's everything. And
it was really fun. You and I have gone to many professional television shows and other kinds of programs here in Manhattan. And when you're sitting in the audience, Christina, you get to watch how people are putting these programs together, and you recognize the skill and the ability and the imagination. So when our festival had to cancel itself in person, I said to the board of directors of the organization, are we going to really let a pandemic stop us? Are we not warriors? Are we not fierce content creators? Let's just do what we can. Let's throw it at the internet and see who comes. And 15,000 people came. So it was pretty good.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You did good, Ziz.
We did okay, Christina. We did okay.
So now, how about Sue Media? When did you find Sue Media, the ultimate umbrella?
Well, Sue Media actually began in 1993 when I had been working at Hofstra University at the time, and I had some, what do they call those? Life challenges, we'll say. And it was time to make a change. And I decided that instead of continuing down the road I had been on, I wanted to try something new. And so I started Sue Media, and Sue Media became an umbrella for a variety of things. There's Sue Media Productions, which puts out really high quality audio storytelling for public radio, audiobooks, and other things. Under Sue Media Productions is also the Radio Wave Studios. And then we have Sue Media that does other kinds of events and organizational things as well. So it's kind of a broad multimedia company that I decided when I had the opportunity to try something new, to just try something new. And so we just celebrated 26 years of business.
Congrats. Wow.
We're pretty pleased about
20,
that.
But you're only 26 years
26 years. Thank you very much. I have a wonderful picture in the attic, and it just does its thing, and
That's awesome. Congrats. That's not easy. That's not easy to keep a business up. I know that.
Well, and especially this year in particular, I'm very pleased again by the fact that I have a great partner in David Shin, who's also my husband. And so the two of us together, have tried to figure out the best way to keep our business and the way we like to tell stories moving forward. And luckily, technology has been okay. It's been okay.
It's strange. I feel like David should just be like right next to you this whole time almost, Well,
tonight he's busy doing other things, but I'll let him know that you missed him.
Yeah, because you guys you're such a strong pair, and you go down these paths together. So
and we do each complement the other's strengths. I mean, I am really an engineer. But David is a master engineer. I just finished taking my Pro Tools recertification. So when I go back to school at NYU where I teach in the fall, if classes are still happening again, I'll be a stronger professor. But David in our studio is the one who does the majority of the high-end recording and mixing these days. I'm more of a producer director. We began our working career together as a sound effects team, doing live sound effects and studio sound effects for different kinds of projects. We worked with the Sci-Fi Channel for many years and others. But over time, our work has evolved, and I decided that I wanted to do more directing. So about I guess it's now 11 or 12 years ago, I moved away from being primarily a sound effects artist and an engineer into being more of a producer director. And that's what I do now.
Nice.
So we divide up our work.
Right. And it works.
It works very well. We have days like everybody else has days, but for the most part, we're able to bring each of our unique strengths to the projects that we do. Like when we were working together on the Here Now Festival, I could imagine how this thing might look, but I couldn't understand all the technologies necessary to make it happen. So he had to go and understand things like Vimeo and the intersection of Facebook and these programs that allow you to stream live. I don't have the bandwidth for that. That's his brain power. You know what I mean? You want me to direct an actor? Okay, fine. I'm happy to do that. But yeah, so
Ziz the whiz.
We have our own little strengths.
So we have a question. We have a question. Your guest looks familiar. Where are you from?
I'm from, at the moment, I'm from Long Island, New York. Where are you from?
Well, this person is from Long Island too. Hi, Tara. Hempstead area?
We're in the Garden City, Hempstead area, exactly.
So you might know each other. I don't know.
We might.
You never know. Hey, forget about it.
This
So,
thing is being fussy tonight. Okay, let me
oh
try it.
yeah,
There we
is it
go.
loosey goosey?
Yeah, it's getting a little loosey. I think it's tired, like the rest
Oh,
of us.
oh
It
yeah,
looks
it's one
pretty
of
good.
those days.
There we go. That
Um,
looks pretty good.
how about Radio Wave Studio?
Well, Radio Wave Studios is a full service multimedia production facility, and we have gone completely remote at the moment. We've just started rebooking on line in the facility. I think our first booking is like July 30th, something like that. And we're working very, very hard to make sure that we're going to be able to maintain social distancing, making sure that any performer that comes into the studio is not, put into a dangerous situation of any kind. So we're still waiting. Oh, thank you, Scott. It is an amazing facility. We're still waiting for some guidance from the mayor's office in New York City. Our studio has some what would you call it? I guess I think it has some limitations in terms of people coming and going. We don't have multiple entrances, for example. So I think that we have to be very, very careful in making sure when we're bringing people into the studio. But up until now, we've been able to do whatever work we did have coming in, and we have some wonderful clients that we're delighted to keep working with right now, at a distance and remotely. And so we've been very, very blessed in that we've got some great people to work alongside.
That's awesome. I miss that studio. It's fun.
It was a pretty spot, and if anybody wants to see pictures of it, we're at SueMediaProductions.com. And as I said, we're just beginning now to experiment and make sure that we're going to have the right kind of airflow in the building, in our spaces. We're doing all the things necessary to keep people safe and creatively productive.
From a distance.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really the key, isn't it? From a distance, right? But
Bette Midler knew it all along.
yeah, we've got some great projects coming out, though. We have some new
Oh,
pieces.
yeah?
Right now, we've just completed a piece. Right now, issues of social justice are very, very important. And one of the things that I've done the last number of years is work on issues of social justice in the audio storytelling community. And in particular, right now, we're about to release to public radio a play about the American socialist Eugene Victor Debs. And we're working again with playwrights Yale Strom and Elizabeth Schwartz, and we're really excited to be working with them again. And Yale and Elizabeth are documentary filmmakers, and they actually did a wonderful documentary last May about Victor Debs and the American Socialist Movement.
Do you want me to play this video really quick?
Sure, that would be fabulous.
All right, let me just flip it on here.
There they are.
All right, let me turn it up. Here we go.
Social and political injustice, economic injustice, division, a pandemic. We've been here before. Hi, I'm Elizabeth Schwartz.
My name is Yale Strom. Elizabeth and I wrote the audio drama Debs in Canton that takes us back to 1918 to 1920. Some things haven't changed.
But everything can. We hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Nice.
So those are our playwrights, Yale and Elizabeth. And as I mentioned, Yale had done a documentary last year on Eugene Victor Debs. And the thing that is similar, again, right now in our world is that we're being challenged as individuals around our rights and liberties and the choices that we want to make as Americans. And
Mm.
people are throwing around the term socialist in a way that's very negative and doesn't really tell the truth of either what it is the American socialist was hoping to offer the working class individual here in America. You know, I know that you, Christina, are a proud member of SAG-AFTRA. And in our studio, we honor the union. As you know, we work very much to have
Thank you.
union actors participate so that they get paid good wages, they receive health benefits, they receive pension benefits. And all of that comes from the work of the American Socialist Movement. There are many people now who will try to be extremely negative about what that movement was about, and they're not really telling the truth of what its intent was. Nothing is perfect in the world, nothing is perfect, but they weren't trying to take away liberties. In fact, they were trying to enhance American liberties. They were trying to enhance Americans who are working class Americans, who are being, in some ways and in some situations, taken advantage of by the corporate individuals. I mean, we recently here in America experienced how I, as a small business owner, went to try and apply for the PPP fund, right? The Paycheck Protection Fund. And like many small business owners, woman-owned business, technically I'm a woman-owned business. We found ourselves very challenged to get the funds. Ultimately, you know, we did get a very small amount of money, but, there were many big corporations that got there first, and that is not what it was intended for. And so Eugene Victor Debs, played by the marvelous Phil Proctor, just love Phil's work.
Nice.
And Melinda Peterson plays Kate Debs. Melinda is Phil's wife, so we were very lucky to have them both come into New York and do this for us. Amazing cast that includes Robert Fass and PJ Oakland, LJ Ganser, and Bobby. Micah Gellert plays the young Oscar, and he even sings for us, which is kind of fun. So I think I got everybody on the cast list.
Oh, wait, what is Phil Proctor known for?
Phil Proctor is known for being one of the Rugrats. For many years, he played a character on the Rugrats. If you are a fan of Disney movies, you've heard him play the French drunk monkey in Dr. Dolittle. And Phil is also one of the founders of Fireside Theater, and for many years was a stand-up comedian. Phil was on the road 20 weeks out of the year for a long part of his life with Procter and Bergman on the road. So Phil has done significant work as a voice actor in his lifetime, and he was excited to play Victor Debs. And so our story takes place at a moment when knowing that Woodrow Wilson has put forward something called the Sedition Act. During World War I, the corporations did not want people speaking out against the war, and so they brought forward a little-known law that became a very important law, and known as the Sedition Act, and it allowed them to jail people who spoke out. Here we are in America where we're supposed to have freedom of speech, and yet our government will make choices from time to time that stops that freedom, and people have the right to speak and be heard. And that's all Debs wanted. He wanted the right to speak and be heard. And so as a much older man, he makes the choice in going to Canton, Ohio, to speak out against the war, even though he knows that right there in the audience are federal agents who are waiting just for him to say the wrong thing, and they're going to throw him back in jail. And so another thing about Victor Debs was he ran for president from jail, which is pretty amazing. And he won quite a number of votes because people were not happy with the way things were going in America at the time. So if you're a fan of public radio, the Public Radio Exchange, prx.org, is a place where you'll be able to listen to the program for free. We're also giving Debs in Canton to radio stations around the country for free. And we're hoping that they will begin to play it during the political season and be reminded, as Yale and Elizabeth said, some things are not different than they were 100 years ago, but we can make change if we want change.
Yeah, don't lose hope.
That's right. That's right.
History repeats itself. It's one of those facts, huh?
It is unfortunately one of those facts, yes.
Damn, Ziz, damn.
Well, and I think these are the stories we need to be telling right now. I think that it's done in a wonderfully entertaining way. Like I said, we've got a wonderful cast who represent the political leaders of the time that Victor Debs was interacting with. They represent the family that he chooses. He makes a choice to leave his family and go and make this statement, even though he knows he's going to go to jail because of it. And I think that that's what an American hero is. I think that a person who knows that that could be my outcome, or like Ann Bobby, who plays Kate O'Hare, who was a political prisoner for many, many years because she spoke out against the war. And they would jail women, they would jail men. They didn't want to have anything that wasn't what agreed with them, you know, for the benefit of, at the time it seemed, corporations. Anything different now?
No. I thought for like 3 seconds. No.
Well, some things are different now. Some things are different now, but there are too many things that are similar. And I think that people need to be reminded, you know, people need to be reminded. So I'm hoping that our public radio project will give people not only a history lesson, because, you know, that's not really what we're in it for, but in that history that they'll understand what their rights are, and the fact that we live in a country that is supposed to represent the best of the world. Are we representing the best of the world right now?
First of all,
I don't
who's
know.
we? Because you and I are different from other people. You know what I'm saying? Like you and I are strong as one. But I can't speak for some other people leading the way, and I won't, because, time will pass and things will change. So, but lucky to have the freedom fighters.
Well, and that's the thing, is that I think that we have to remind each other, and I think that that's what we're trying to do here in telling this story. Is it, whatever your politics are, just remember, we don't want to give up our civil liberties. We don't want to give up the opportunity to live in a country like America that's not perfect. But in that imperfection, we have the ability to change. And I think we're seeing so much of that right now in what's happening on the streets of every city in America, where people are speaking out against social injustice. And this was one man who chose to speak out against the way that young Americans were being sent off to World War I. But whether it's, hi, nice to see you. Whether it's, feeling that you don't want to fight a particular war that isn't, your war, or you don't think that people are being treated equally. I mean, that's horrible to think about.
Yeah, injustice is unfair, my friend.
Well, and I know
Unfair.
that
Zizza.
that's been part of what I think has made us friends, is the fact that we both feel that, and I'm speaking for me, and I don't know if I know who you are.
Miss Boots.
Ms. Buds, who is that? Maybe I'll be excited to see who it is. But anyway, so
Surprise.
that's part of what's made us friends, is the fact that we both feel very strongly about issues around pride and issues around injustice and equality.
Yeah, every time you and I speak, it's about injustice. It's, you know, I like to go deep, so you and I go really deep.
Well, that's true. Oh, Sandy, it's nice to see you, Sandy. How are you? How's Caitlin
Yeah.
doing? Wow,
Aw.
very nice.
Welcome to the interwebs of the interview, Sandy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Aw.
Nice to know you're still out there, Sandy. Good to know. Good to know. Yes, it has been something that has been good conversation between the two of us. And I think for me has made me think about the things that I still want to accomplish in whatever lifetime I have left, you know?
Please. You're 18, Ziz, get over it.
18. Scott, tell her the truth. I know you're out there, Scott. You know the truth.
Don't do
That's
it, Scott.
right. Wow, Katie's going. Yep.
Wow. Now you're aging us. Now, what's the NAT? The NATF Playhouse is the same as the play, right?
That was part of the Here Now Festival. Yes, that was where the play got heard. It was the venue for our online festival. So if people go to the herenowfestival.org website, you're able to look at the different icons for the different shows, and the NATF Playhouse Debs in Canton is up there for you to listen to now, hosted by the most magnificent
Awesome.
Frank Statio.
That's awesome. So one of my favorite things about you is that you usually go to Cannes Festival every year.
Oh yes, it was very sad not to go to Cannes this year. The Cannes Film Festival has been one of my fun spring events, in part because we've done a lot of work taking screenplays and other projects into the audio world for proof of concept, sizzle reels, you know, that kind of thing. But also because I just love wearing my bling for 2 solid weeks.
No,
Yeah, Cannes is a great event.
leave it on.
No, it's too silly. It's just too silly now.
It's fine. Whoopi does it. You can do it too.
I tell you what, the next time I'm on The View, I'll wear it. How's that? When we actually get to go back to the audience, when we actually get to go back to it, to being in a live audience, I promise you I will wear my tiara the whole time, okay? There I am.
Okay, let's hope it's sooner than later.
I even have the wave down.
Oh.
So yes, I'm looking forward to the opportunity to get out of the land of Zoom. Don't you think?
Those will be the golden years for sure.
Yes. And how's it going for you up in Albany? You're not here on Long Island at the moment.
No, I'm on a Navy gig, Navy job, day by day, you know.
Thank you for your service.
I got you. I got your back.
Scott wanted to know, how do I choose projects to get involved with?
That's a good question, Scott. Good
okay,
question.
well, I'll tell you. One of 3 ways. Either writers like Yale and Elizabeth come to me and say, would you like to participate in helping us realize this project? And we go into partnership. So a lot of projects have come to me that way, in that writers or storytellers know my penchant for wanting to tell stories in sound. So a number of years ago, for example, I got to do a wonderful piece called Never Again War about the German artist Kate Kollwitz, who really, again, started a whole social movement to speak up against Hitler through her art and other things. And that piece was brought to me by the storyteller who wanted to tell it. And so that's one place, is people just seek me out, and I'm always happy to read a tale and potentially tell it. Another way that stories get chosen are sometimes I get commissioned to do a piece. So for example, this last year, the Audio Engineering Society, knowing that our studio was in the Tesla building, as it's called, the Radio Wave building, had asked if we might be able to come up with something for their conference that was based on Nikola Tesla. And because Nikola Tesla and Mark Twain were friends, I went to a writer that I know, Butch D'Ambrosio, and I said, could you write me a play about these two men, and we'll put it on as a live performance event. And actually, again, if you want to, you can go to the Here Now Festival, and the Tesla Twain piece is up there. And that we actually shot also in 360 video. So
Cool.
there's a little opportunity for you to watch the 360. And it gave us, I will do that, Sandy. You stay in touch too. It gave us an opportunity to create a piece uniquely for the conference. So in that case, it was kind of like a commission piece. And then every once in a while, I'll be reading a story, or I'll hear about somebody and their tale or an experience that people had, and I'll want to create a story about it. So it depends. They come to me in all different kinds of ways. The thing is, it has to be something that I think has value beyond just telling a good story. I want people to learn something from the story told.
Yeah, you want them to have a living, breathing experience as well.
Yes, exactly.
How about teaching at NYU? What kind of things do you teach there?
Well, I'm delighted that since 1999, I've been a member of the sound faculty at the Tisch School of the Arts in the film school, where I get to make more joyful noises because I teach freshmen the importance of sound in the film experience. So one of our friends that my husband and I have known for many years is a gentleman named Randy Tom, who is the head of sound at Skywalker. And so
Nice.
over the years, getting to know Randy, I actually studied with him through the Midwest Radio Theater Workshop many, many years ago, and got to learn a lot about how you think about sound effects and sound design elements in the storytelling experience. And from there, we began to understand more and more how sound is important to other forms of entertainment media, television and film. And so for many years, I had been teaching in radio only at Hofstra University. And then one day, a very dear friend of mine, Charlie Potter, called me up. Charlie Potter is a Grammy award-winning producer of audiobooks. He worked with Maya Angelou for many years and all. And Charlie called me up and he said, would you like to fill in one semester here at NYU? We're looking for someone. And at the time, I have to be honest with you, I wasn't sure I wanted to stay in academics. I wasn't sure I wanted to stay in the academic world. But I went through the search experience at NYU, and I met my tribe. I met people who were like-minded academics who had a tremendous desire to want to share their skills with their students. And so as a result of that, I was only supposed to stay for one semester, but what year is it now? So, I've enjoyed the opportunity, and this past spring in particular, I do have to say I felt like our program was really very, very important to our students in particular, because for many of them, it was the reason to get up in a day after they had all gone home, So
Oh.
I really, I felt very connected to my students this semester, even though we were living together in the land of Zoom.
So it's working out teaching online.
In some ways, this last couple of days, I took some additional technical classes to improve my skills. Last semester, my students and I were lucky in that we'd had a number of weeks together before we went into the quarantine environment. And this semester, I want to make sure that I'm as good a teacher as I can be to bring those students who are choosing to work virtually only right from the beginning to feel, like they're not missing anything. So I've been spending some time doing that work, and I'm happy to do it because I think it'll make us all better together.
Yeah, I've heard that teachers are having a rough time organizing teaching from home, and it is more work. But if you enjoy what you're teaching, I think that's what will shine through.
Yeah, and I do have
You
to
have
say,
any tips you can teach us?
well, I found for myself and my students, I'm very I'm known for being very serious about producing the work that I do within budget, we're on time. I really try to make sure that all those requirements are always met. I found that when we went into quarantine, the thing that I needed to do was be more patient, not only with my students, but with myself. So I think that being patient and kind to each other and ourselves is the biggest thing that I've learned through this experience, because we all come from, especially those of us that work in the entertainment industry, we come from a work ethic and a time frame that says it's done today and there's no discussion, there's no excuses. So it was learning how to help my students meet their goals, meet their deadlines, but also do it in a way that was kind and loving. And I think that was the most important thing, was just helping them be patient with themselves and each other, helping me be patient with myself and each other. And, that's the biggest lesson, I think, from all of this.
Actually, that first of all, that sounds like a great foundation for any class. But I do think that this pandemic definitely broke open the barriers of what time is. It's like there is no structure, there is no time, but here we are moving about our 9 to 5s, living in it, but it's not real, and that's what the pandemic's saying to us. It's like, no, stop
Yes.
what you're doing and look in and look out,
Yes, I would really agree with you on that. Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And I think that we all need to just take a moment and recognize that there's something bigger, whatever that thing is. There's something way bigger than all of us. I've been watching Trevor Noah the last couple of weeks, his show in pandemic
Daily
quarantine.
Show.
Everybody else, the Daily Show from home. And the thing that he says every night on the show is coronavirus doesn't care what your politics is. It doesn't care the color of your skin. It doesn't care your ethnic background. And there are no borders where coronavirus is concerned. And I think that that's the thing that we all have to remember, is that we are all equal in this situation, and we have to be helpful to each other. Otherwise, we're not going to get through it,
And cognizant of that,
Yeah.
that we're all, I had that actually, I forgot where I was. Oh, I was like in the Mexican restaurant waiting for my veggie tacos earlier, and I was just thinking like we are all feeling the same exact way on some level. You know, I mean, I had a different day from you, but generally we all are riding the same waves, right, of this reality. And it's like, woof, 2020, come on, give me a break, man.
Somebody said 2020 got canceled, and I was happy about it.
I think I said that because it's been canceled. One of my friends' weddings was rescheduled. The other one, I mean, it's canceled in many ways. I mean, things are just canceling naturally.
Yes. Yes. So I think we just have to really be in a place where we can be helpful to each other, because we're not going to get through it as a
Solo artist.
yeah, exactly. And as a species, we're not going to survive this if we're not kind to each other,
Yes, it seems that the pandemic has also brought the animalistic tendencies out of people, right? It's weird. Like, what's going on?
Some people.
No, I'm just saying people. I mean, I feel more instinctual actually because of it, and which I think is a good thing. If you're conscious and self-care and knowledgeable of reality, you might have a better way of navigating it. But this awakening has awakened something in some people, right? Exactly.
Some not nice things in some people. That's the problem. Some not nice.
That is the problem.
Yep.
That is the problem. But you know what it is? If we shine the light in their face, you know what? Positivity.
We just have to, right. We just have to keep making sure that we're being conscious, very, very conscious of the people and the choices that we're making, because they do come back. They do come back.
So we have about 3 minutes left. Do you have some last words for the Stina Show audience and your fans, of course?
Well, I just want to say that I hope that people will go find some really good, fun audio stories to listen to, and that those of you who enjoy storytelling, remember, we're a fun medium to play in, because the opportunity to tell your stories in sound allow you to create anything you want. And I hope people will come and listen to Debs in Canton at the Here Now Festival or at the Public Radio Exchange, and think about his message.
Awesome. So my mom says karma, 100%, 100% karma.
Absolutely. And thank you for having me on today. This
oh, please.
Really fun to get to try this. I'd never done. We did a Facebook Live show together. Did you come with me to that one? The Mario show or something?
I'm not sure.
No, maybe we didn't do that.
So where can people follow you? Instagram, Facebook?
You can follow me at Sue Media, right, on Instagram, or at Radio Wave Studios. You can also follow at Here Now, and you'll get all of our fun and excitement of what's going on in and around the studio and in all our storytelling.
And you're probably planning for next year's festival already. That's how festivals work.
Oh, yes. We've already got June 24th to the 27th for 2021 planned. And one of the exciting things, Christina, that came out of this year's online festival was we found that
you got 30 seconds.
We had an opportunity to serve more artists, so there'll be more online programs.
Yes. Thank you, Ziz. Thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me, Miss Tina. Thank you very much.
We'll be in touch, and then we'll be at the View as soon as we can, doing our thing.
I look forward to it. I really look forward to it. Thanks for the opportunity, and thanks, Scott and Delaney and everybody else who joined us tonight. Bye.
Bye. Say hi to David, too, and the kitties.
I sure will. Max and Ollie and Boots.
Yes, please.
Bye.
Bye, sis. Trying to connect. Okay. So thank you, Zizza. She's amazing. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I'll see you next Thursday. Love and blessings. Thank you.